Hello, hello. If you all could just bear with for a moment, I am going to be sure that you can see and hear me and I'm in the right place, because since last week, Facebook has changed up lives a little bit. So let me see or hear. Okay, I can hear, and I believe I'm in the correct group, even better. So let's get started. If you see me looking off to the side, I have some notes. If you see me looking down, I have another device so that I can see your comments in live time. Well, welcome, beautiful people. I am Deb K, and this is How to Live Your Truths video series, week 1. So we will have 4 weeks of How to Live Your Truths this month. I am so excited to bring this to you, and living your truths is actually a truly, truly awesome process, and one that, if committed to, you will exponentially and dramatically change for the better within your life. And you will love who you are and why you are here living this human experience. So this series is really about what happens after creating truths, after reaching your broadest truth and truly awakening, and everyday living thereafter between each segment of your journey, in your journey to magnificence. So this will help you with that. This is part of continuing that magnificence journey for you. And I'm gonna get that off my screen. Okay, they've changed so much at once. It's so crazy catching up. Okay, so by the end of this live, you will better understand that your journey isn't just a series of tick boxes, but rather a way of living for you. And you're just going to let go and live your truths. This is all about feeling good. And our main focus today is around the now what? Now what? So at the end, I will also give you a little bit more info about upcoming programs and ways to work with me. There is so much exciting stuff happening behind the scenes. So in all transparency, I and my business are going through a transformation and up-leveling, and I would love to bring you along for that ride. So you can definitely find links for things in the post. If you're having trouble or you're not understanding, reach out, comment below, or DM me. And at the end of today's session, we will have Q&A live for anybody who is posting live. If you are on replay, please do post your questions, participate like you're on live, and I will come back to your questions later and get those answered for you. Okay, so as you join the live, if you could just drop a little hello, let me know where you're watching from if you feel comfortable with that. I am in, right now, not so sunny New England. It was brilliantly sunny a few minutes ago, but this is how it rolls here. There is never a boring moment in the weather. So all of my videos are also available on replay, so you can watch on catch up in your own time, whatever works for you. Just a little bit about me now. I am Deb K, and I am here to help you magnetize your magnificence. And I have a laundry list of alphabet soup accreditation after my name, but all you need to know is that right now. So I am your leading edge guide and healer, and I am here to help and support you as you're ready to transform, ready for your own true, beautiful magnificence. So today, what I share may seem different or sound different to what you currently understand, but just allow this to flow with you. Feel the truth of it, let it settle, because I promise you that you will gain the understanding you need, and you'll realize that we may just be using different words that have the same meaning behind them. And obviously, please do ask any questions that you have. There is no question you have that isn't valid. Please understand that. And if you have a question, somebody else may have the same question. So we are all helping each other in this way. All right, so don't forget my trusty glass. I'm Deb. Cheers. I'm glad you're here. And just a brief little recap. Back in the fall, I created a Magnificence Journey series. You can find the replay in my private group. That's it for now. You can find it in my private group for right now. The Magnificence Journey is truly a culmination of how I became who I am today, and the exact steps I took over the past few years to get there. So I am on my own true, beautiful Magnificence journey as well. And it's been truly magical, truly transformative, and it's evolved since the time I even created that video series. So I'm so excited to just continue to share my journey with each and every one of you, because I know that there will be some parts or all parts that will resonate with you and help you in your life to feel good. So in April, I created the Meet Your Higher Self series. This is part of step 1 in the Magnificence journey. And then in May, the Believe Releasing process. It's a 5th Dimension Earth certified program. It's a book, and I created a video series around that. It's part of step 2 in the Magnificence journey. In June, the Broadest Truth series. That is also a 5th Dimension Earth certified program that I teach, and that is part of step 3 of your Magnificence journey. July, we had, this is July. July is How to Live Your Truth series, part of the 4th step of your true, beautiful Magnificence journey. And what will be coming up for step 5, well, you'll have to stick around and find out, but it's going to be magnificently amazing. I can promise you that. Now, it is important to remember that throughout your journey, your Magnificence journey, these processes are always done with your higher self. Some are done with God, some are done with other guides, some are done with your soul. It really depends on what part of your journey you're on. But all of these energetic elements come into play and help you. You are fully supported, and having someone like me, a physical guide and healer, to help you, I've been through it, I've walked the journey myself, is even more spectacular to help you achieve the transformation you want to achieve a little bit faster, or even a lot faster. Okay, so let go of any fear around the spiritual terminology used. Sometimes I will just start speaking in the real language of energy. Just feel it, just saturate in it. There will be more clarity to come for you in right time. All right, so how about a little overview about how to live your truths? This is a truly awesome process. So if you are committed to this process, your life will become exponentially and dramatically better. This is the change that a lot of people are looking for, is just to feel better and feel good. And in that, you gain so much energetically and fulfilling your physical life here on earth. So this process helps you live in love always, and introduces you to ways that you can continue to love who you are and why you're here living this physical human experience. So in week 1, we'll talk about you've awakened, now what? Now, I'll have a little caveat to that, because you may not be awakened, and that's okay. This is still useful, so I will give a little more detail around that later. In week 2, we'll talk about how you show up matters. Week 3, let go of what was and live now. And week 4 creating faith in you, clarity, and certainty. So, let's go. Week 1, you've awakened. Now what? Right? So you've done all this work. Like, what's next? How does your awakening affect those around you? How does it affect your healing in your emotional and physical bodies? How does living your truths open up capabilities, higher vibration, better quality of life, feeling younger, feeling better, feeling good? And how does that ripple out to everyone else? How does it open up all sorts of possibilities? It's completely limitless. So there is most certainly a period of time where you're going to feel your energy and your soul want to settle. Like, it's like you, let's say as a physical human, you have set a goal. I want to achieve XYZ, whatever that is. And you work hard and you do it and you take all the steps and you finally achieve it. Success, you've gotten it. You've manifested exactly what you set out to do or be or have. And then what do? Well, you've got the thing. You've got the experience. You've got that moment that you were so desiring. Don't you want to just enjoy it for a while? And that's kind of what your energy wants to do. If you've gone through the first 3 steps of this magnificence journey, at this point, your energy, if not before, at this point, your energy kind of wants to just take a moment and just revel in your success and learn how to be in this new energy. So it's not like you can just decide one day, I'm just this now. I mean, it kind of is if you've created enough truths and you really, really have them land. If you have truly awakened and created the broadest truth, yeah, it's going to be like that. But there is a period of time where that soul and that energy of your soul just needs time to let it sink in. Let yourself enjoy it a little bit. Let yourself learn to let go and just let it happen. So understanding this new you, it's you only upgraded, it's not like you're completely, throwing the baby out with the bathwater. You've just changed all of your fear into love. And so you're still you, just more you. And more better you, right? And understanding this new you is important to living your truths. So recognize that you are new to this set point in your life, and that the next steps are actually ones of practicing and implementing what you have thus far learned about yourself. So you will be energetically exercising who you are now to break subconscious habitual cycles in order to live as all that you are. That's a pretty big statement, right? So if you remember from other lives, I've talked about your soul creation, and the fact that your soul it's uniquely you, pure, unadulterated you. And that is encapsulated in a way that nothing can ever get in there. And so, yes, there's conscious mind and there's perspective and all these things outside of it that you may feel like it's gotten in there and changed you, but it really hasn't. And you always, if you desire it and want to do it, you always have a way to get back to understanding that encapsulated purity, the youiest you of you that you ever could be. And that is where the term all that you are is coming from. So, living as all that you are, could you imagine? If you're not there yet, can you imagine that? just daydream in that a little bit. Use some imagination energy on that a little bit. Could you imagine if you lived as God created you, with your higher self from the very beginning? With all that you know now, obviously, you've had experience, but live as you in pure love. That feels really good. And it's attainable. So if you don't feel like it's attainable just yet, and that's for other people, well, I'm here to say in the most loving of ways, you're wrong, because you can have it also. I've done it. I know countless number of people who've done it with me, and I've helped people do it for themselves. So it's like any other subject that you might study or earn a degree towards a career. You aren't an expert surgeon or designer or carpenter straight out of the gate once you've got your certification or your degree or your license. There's a learning curve. There is a gaining of new understanding and a growing into the new normal of you, your new set point, your truths, and the learning how to live them. So this step, how to live your truths, is all about the let go portion of the believe releasing process. So at this point, you've actually started to practice this and energize this as you've gone through the believe releasing process and started creating truths. And as you've gone through the broadest truth program and created your broadest truth. There were broader truths along the way. But here's the caveat to your journey. If you have already awakened, created your broadest truth, some of what I share next is going to be less or non-existent for you, but listen from the perspective of where you are living now. Listen from that energy. And for those of you listening that are in the process of creating truths, but have not created your broadest truth, or even if you haven't even started creating truths yet, just listen to what I'm sharing, because what I share next is important. All right, so what may occur during this time of how to learn to live your truths? Well, there's going to be a habitual way of being that's been heavily influenced by your subconscious mind if you haven't fully 100% completely created truths and moved all of your fear labeled memories and experiences and emotions to love. And that's okay. And even if you feel like you have, there will probably be a few little stragglers that maybe you missed, and it's totally okay. It is completely normal. We are physical humans. So you may, during this time, find yourself in the resistant mind state. It may be once in a while. It may be that you recognize it's a little more often than you prefer for what you are intending to have your journey look like and feel like for you. What the resistant mind state is it's fear. It's recognizing that you're in fear most of the day. Now, if you've been through the broadest truth, this is not necessary, because you have experience and tools in your back pocket of how you've done this to get to creating truths and creating a really strong broadest truth. If you are still in the process, you're still in the process of awakening and creating those truths, this could be more likely. So recognize if you are feeling fear, if you're feeling anxious, if you're feeling all those emotions that you know don't fall in the love category, they fall in the fear category. And just take a moment and notice and recognize that. So if you are feeling that fear most of the day, if you're reacting to things in a big way that really aren't warranted by the situation, like your child asks you a simple question and instead you blow up instead of just quietly listening and answering, that's another thing to recognize, that you are likely in the resistant mind state. You also may notice that dripping tap of emotions that we've talked about on and off in some of these lives. That is like literally like if you had a faucet that was on a little bit, just dripping, dripping, dripping. And those are all that habitual subconscious fear dripping through. And we need to recognize that it's happening so that we can go in and turn that faucet all the way off, so to speak, by creating stronger truths or more truths. So what would you do during this time, during this new normal? How to live your truths? What's happening? Well, the way to freedom is to get into the expectant mind state. So what happens in the expectant mind state is that you are going to act as the new changed you. Always, always, always. This is the practice. This is the energizing of who you are meant to be. This is the energizing of enacting those truths in real world, real life, in the moment situations. So this moves you from having that awareness list that you worked on long, long ago and then, set a time to sit and go through it. This is the in the moment, every day, wham, bam, this happened, I feel great, let's move on. Okay, so what this does when you are acting in that energy of the new you that you've created, it generates high vibration. You can ask your higher self to add this feeling to your truth buckets that you created throughout all of the processes we've spoken about before. And then you can manage your transitional vibration in the moment. So how would someone do that? Well, you can have a standard truth template. I did speak about this during the Believe Releasing process and in my Awakening Journey series that's in my private group. So it's a simple truth that supports all other truths. Like, it's almost like a broadest truth, but not exactly. That's the best way I can describe it right now. So if you haven't fully awakened yet, you haven't created your broadest truth, this is something that's like a placeholder that you can rely on in that way to call in that truth. And it kind of covers a whole plethora of other experiences and emotions and that sort of thing. So it's like something, for example, like I deserve love. And then you generate that truth and you feel that and you feel loved no matter what's happening. And that covers a plethora of things that fall underneath it. Okay, so the other way that you can manage transitional vibration in the moment is living your truths. That's what this is all about. And when you start living your truths, so you're handling that transitional vibration in the moment. So let's say you're cleaning the house and you've made all these truths. You feel really great and you're cleaning the house and all of a sudden you see something like ridiculous that one of your kids has done because they're kids and that's what kids do, right? And they just, leave this little mess here or that there or whatever. You find a dirty dish in the other room that should have been put in the sink a week ago. It's all good. And instead of reacting the way that you did when you had that as a fear label, everybody hates me, everybody takes advantage of me, nobody cleans up for themselves, I'm the only one doing anything around here. Well, instead of that, since you've created all these fantastic truths and you feel good, you understand that they're having their own journey. And you actually love to pick up because you love how it makes you feel when your house looks nice and feels good. And you love that it's creating an environment for those of you that live in that house with you to feel good and feel comfortable inviting their friends over and feel love from you, that you want them to feel good. And this is a way of expressing that love. Now, what might happen is in the moment, you have that first initial, oh gosh, I can't believe somebody left this dirty dish here again. And then instantly you recognize it, you notice it, and you allow your truth to flow through. You remember it, you live it. And by doing this, by exercising in that way, by practicing in that way, what happens is you fully clear down all those archived memory markers. So they fade away. They energetically get forgotten. You energetically remember the truth instead. You remember the love instead. You remember the understanding. You remember the perspective shift. You remember all of that in that moment. And then that happens again and again and again and again. And at some point you recognize and notice, like, you don't have that, oh shit, this happened again moment. Oop, sorry. Whoops, sorry about that. And you just kind of skim through that and you're straight to love, straight to those truths, straight to living it and feeling good and everything's okay and easy peasy lemon squeezy. And eventually, living that way, you'll reach your broadest truth. And if you hop into the broadest truth program, you'll reach it even faster. Okay, so what I'm going to do is check and see if there are any questions really quick, and then we'll go on a little bit. I don't see any questions. For those of you hopping on late or partway through, go ahead and drop any questions you have. I'm here to answer them live, and I will check again before this is over, and I will check back if you're on replay, putting questions in. So just to let you know, I do have a program I created around how to live your truths, and this includes incredible support from me, Deb K, and a loving community, weekly recorded sessions and live sessions, live or recorded sessions once a week, and live and recorded Q&A once a week. Everything's available on replay, so if you're in a different time zone, it's not a big deal. It is not a deal breaker. Do it if you're feeling you should do it, if you're feeling called. You also get access to personal support between sessions and Q&As by Voxer or Messenger. So if this is something that you'd like to know more about, please do drop how about the word truth below in the comments, or you can send me a DM, whichever you feel more comfortable with. Okay, so as promised, there's a few specials, upcoming things, and all the good stuff to help you on your journey to magnetize your true, beautiful magnificence. And I would love to share that with you. So this month, July, limited time special pricing on my soul contract session. And what is a soul contract? Well, you may not remember, but everything in your soul contract was agreed upon by you, your soul, your higher self, and God while you were non-physical before you transformed and incarnated here on earth to live and achieve your soul contract. So sometimes your journey may be feeling really good, and sometimes it may be feeling not so good. And either way, it's what was in your soul contract and what was agreed upon and what you're here to do and experience. And I have an expanded and evolving soul knowing, soul contract capability amongst all my other soul capabilities that helps highlight some key milestones for you within your soul contract. So I will be able to flow with God the contents of your soul contract to you. And when you become aware of the contents of your soul contract, especially your key milestones, then you'll be able to understand your journey better. You'll be able to understand other people's roles in your soul contract and the cross alignment and how people are involved. And you'll gain clarity and connect to your journey and the understanding of it in a way that is truly divinely awesome for you. During the soul contract journey, I enable you to feel the flow of God and His love for you through me and I will help you feel really, really, really good with a divine capability called bliss. I'll help awaken inspiration in you and continue to energetically expand you further to get ready for the next segment of your journey, whatever that may be. And you'll also have the opportunity to ask for additional guidance and actions around anything that comes through. So that's that. If you're interested in that, just drop a little soul contract in the comments, or you can send me a DM with that. And then something really exciting is coming up. So as I mentioned in passing before, I am undergoing a massive transformation myself, and my business is undergoing a massive transformation. Now, because of bliss, it will feel very seamless, and something special is coming up in September. I will be running a special event, mini event for you prior to launching something amazing. So stay tuned for that. All right, so next week is Live Your Truths video part 2 of 4. We'll be continuing on what we were chatting about today. And on Monday, July 11th, I will be having free live guidance, Ask Me Anything, with my higher self and God. And this will be at 10 a.m. Eastern Time, that's 3 p.m. UK. And just watch for the events coming up on my page. The last few were so fun. There was higher self-tuning exercises, creating truths, abundance, lessons from nature. I'm feeling like we may have a continuation of lessons from nature coming up. All the booking links are in the post above, and if they're not, if you see something or if you've heard something you're interested in or the dates don't match up, please do message me your interest, as things are on the techie side, behind the scenes, getting updated. I can help get you started. We don't need everything to be in place on the storefront to work. You can also work with me one-to-one if that is something you're interested in. And if you're not sure which is the right next step for you, well, let's book you in a free call with me and we can discover that together. And let's check back for comments. Let's see. We have a comment. Okay, so let's go ahead and wrap up today. And I want to thank you all for being here, and remember that it is time to transform the next segment on your journey and magnetize your own true, beautiful magnificence. I will see you next week for part 2 of How to Live Your Truth series, and for live higher self guidance, Ask Me Anything. I am sending you all so much love. Bye.